Build a small Suzuki outboard motor. These small motors are all about the same, so it should apply to different models. So I've already rebuilt part of it, but I'm going to show you what I did. But first you'll have to take this off, your cover off, and then typically you have, of course, the gas tank. You remove that, and then you've got a pull start, and it's got 3 or 4 screws that bolt it to the flywheel. So you take that off. You want to make sure you get a good action on it. See, this one you pulled out and it doesn't pull it back in. So I bought another one on eBay. But sometimes they get rusty in there. You can just squirt some WD-40 or something like that in there, and it might fix it. Also, you can replace the rope. You unknot it there, and the rope can be replaced. But the most important thing to do, I've learned, is first get a shop manual for your motor. And without that shop manual, I'd be lost. But here, even this small motor, this shop manual is about, I'd say, about 90 pages. So, and they're good. They show you, step by step what to do. So okay, I took that stuff off, and then you've got your magneto sits under that. This is part of the magneto. There's more to it. You've got this has 4 magnets in it. You've got this deal sits up here too. This catches the pull start, so it turns the motor. So you take the magneto mechanism off, and so now you got the crankshaft. The crankshaft is going this way, and so under it, you're going to have engine block bolts. In this case, about 6 of them. So from this side, you take those out, and first you might want to take, carburetor is going to be up front here, just 2 nuts holding that to the engine. Take that out, and it's going to need to be taken apart and cleaned. And then after you've taken your bolts out underneath, this will come right out. And these motors, they split in half. So the crankshaft runs this way, the piston runs this way. Here's the spark plug. But I'll show you. Okay, here's the head. You're going to have 4 bolts that hold that head on. Take that out, and where are the other bolts? A second here. Oh, I see. And then you've got 4 long bolts here that hold the engine together. You take these 4 bolts out, and then this will split, and that will reveal the bottom of the crankshaft. But anyway, then the crankshaft and the piston are unit together. It just raises straight out. Okay, you split it apart right there, and split it this way, and the crankshaft is attached to the piston, which is this way, and you just pull the piston backwards through the bottom of the cylinder out. Okay, and that's your engine right there. And what you want to do when you get your piston out, put new rings on it. It's real easy. I just use my fingers. You just take them off and put the new ones on, and there's going to be a little bump on each piston landing that keeps where you've got to position your piston rings so it doesn't slide around the piston. And so I put new piston rings in it, and I also honed out my cylinder. I used an automobile hone. For a cylinder this small, you could use a brake cylinder hone, but I put oil in there, I just turned it by hand and moved it up and down. I didn't put it on a drill. You could put it on a drill. And it cleaned up the cylinder really well. And the cylinder looked in good shape, so I deemed this motor worthy of being rebuilt. So it's got new piston rings in it. And also, you'll want to get a set of new gaskets for it. I've already put some in that, but I had a block gasket and a head gasket. And then I got a big gasket here where the engine mounts to the case. And this case we've got forward, this is neutral, and first. You can see the propeller moving there in first, and when you pull it back it doesn't turn, that's neutral. And the water pump mechanisms are inside here. They would be hard to get to, but could do it. This comes apart, pulls apart, and your water pump sits clear inside here somewhere, and your water pickup is right here, and it expels the water right there. So when you do get your motor running, first thing you want to do is make sure the water pump is pumping water through the motor, otherwise it will overheat. And other things you want to do is, so I've taken the carburetor apart and it was dirty. Check your jets, take the float bowl off, blow through it, use carburetor cleaner to blow through the passages. That's very important to put that back together. Check your gas tank for leaks. I had some leaks, but some plastic welder. Got some plastic welder I used, and this seems to work really well to repair any cracks. Because then I bought a new on eBay, a good used rope pull. Okay, I'll show you what I've done now. I replaced this condenser, and I thought the old one was bad, but the new one acted just like the old one, so you're going to have that happen. It cost $20 for that little condenser, and plus shipping. And there are 3 wires are soldered together at the top of it, which is why I thought that was funny on the old one, but that's the way it's supposed to be. Now you have to adjust the timing. Here you've got your there you can see. Those are the ignition points. And right here is the adjusting screw. So you loosen that, and you can put a screwdriver in there, and there's a slot there, and you can push it back and forth, and that will adjust the point gap. And let me move those points. And what happens, even though you can't see it on this single cylinder engine, this is not perfectly round, it's oval, and the rubbing block on the points rubs against that and opens and closes the points. It's hard to see, but it's there. Okay, and also here, this is another important thing. These screws here, there's 2 of them right there. They allow this whole plate here to either go left or right, and that adjusts the timing. Okay, so now I need to put the flywheel back on, and there's a little can you see this little tab there on that crankshaft, and there's a corresponding slot. Where is it? It's inside there. It's internal. There you can see it. There's a slot in there that corresponds to it. Okay, so I need to put this back on top here, and we've got to be careful because we've got, oh, and also there's a little felt thing right here on the condenser. You oil that, and it oils the, see right there, it oils the deal on the flywheel to lubricate it, so the points get a little bit, so the rubbing block on the points don't wear out. Now we've got on your flywheel, if it's old, make sure there's no rust on these magnets. So sandpaper that off and check that there's no cracked magnets. You can check it with a screwdriver to see if it pulls a screwdriver to it strongly through magnetism. Okay, now I'm going to put it back on the engine. I'm going to do that. I'm going to match up that slot on the crankshaft with the flywheel. There's a mark right there, and okay, that's your timing mark. So what happens is, okay, that's going to line up right there, that mark, and when you look down in the see down in there, you can see the points through that access hole, and they should, that's when that top dead center mark comes around, the point should just start to open. And you can't see it here very well, but I've watched it, and didn't happen at first. The points were opening too late. So what I did is, remember those two screws I showed you inside there? One was here and one was there. I loosened those and I turned the whole ignition breaker assembly counterclockwise, and that makes this fire sooner. And that's how you adjust that. Plus, at the same time that mark lines up there, the ignition points need to be opening. Now you can put a ohm meter on it and test to get it exactly right. I'm just hoping, I'm just assuming that I've got it and it should work. And what you want to do is rotate your points to maximum open, and then you can put a feeler gauge in there. See, this is 16 thousandths. So I checked the gap there, and it was at first too little and too wide. What I did, I had to take this off again and move the point slightly, and then put the whole thing back on. You got to have it all together just to check point gap, because you need this on to make the points, the flywheel cover on, or the flywheel on, just to make the points open. So it's off and on, off and on. Same thing with this timing. If the lines don't match up, then you've got to loosen those two screws and move your breaker plate one way or the other to get the you don't want it firing at top dead center, then you won't have very much power. So you want to follow your instruction manual and have it fire before top dead center, 23 degrees before. In this case, it's quite a bit. Okay, so I've also took the carburetor apart and put it back on the engine. It's pretty straightforward. And the reason this engine stopped running was the magneto was bad. So the way you test these, okay, here's the magneto. Now I tested it. I put a ohm meter from here to ground, and I looked at the specs in the owner's manual. It was something like 1.5 ohms, and that was correct. And then the secondary winding that connects to the spark plug, you're supposed to check from the end of it to another ground on your magneto. And on this old one, it showed a magneto. It showed an open circuit. It showed zero ohms. There was no conductivity. And the owner's manual, or the service manual, says there should be about 5,000 ohms. So when this one came, I did the same check again. Okay, I checked from the spark plug boot to ground, and it showed 5,000. I checked from on the this one the primary winding, checked from here to ground, and it showed about 1 ohm. So I know the magneto was good. It's brand new and it cost $85, so it better be good.